Okay. Hello and a good evening to our lecturer, Ms. JAHNAHNI THEVI. So tonight, me, Dayang, with my acquaintance, PONNISAHA and Kavin, would like to give a presentation regarding our assignment 1, which include the question for part A and part B. So without wasting any time, I will pass the slide to Kavin to tell us about the introduction.
Okay, good evening, Miss. So for the introduction, business ethics encompass the guidelines, values, and criteria used to determine the ethical correctness or incorrectness of actions within a professional context. So what does it mean is that business ethics acts as a guided path for the business to run it or operate it in a very right manner, in a very proper manner. And by having business ethics, trust is built between the consumer and corporation. Besides, by having business ethics, organizations also enable to take actions and also identify what competitive advantage are needed to compete with their competitors, which are other organizations. Thank you.
Okay, so now I will tell about the importance of a business ethic. So business ethic are fundamental to the success and sustainability of any organization. So they encompass the moral principle that guide the behavior and decision-making process within the business. So the significance of business ethic can be understood through several key aspects. Number 1 is a reputation management. Number 2 is a legal compliance. Number 3 is a employee satisfaction and retention. Number 4 is a customer loyalty. And number 5 is a long-term profitability. So now I will give the slide to the next presenter.
So the next is our first case study, which is part A. So we have choose question number 2, which is investment scams. So the questions are based on this case study, and we have answered the questions accordingly. Okay, next.
Thank you, Kavin. Good day, Miss. So here we have a part A investment scam and the question with the answer. So the first question is, what is the investment scam? Investment scam is actually a deactive scam that designed to steal money by promising high turnover with a little risk. For example, we just imagine someone approach you with a proposal to invest in a new technology that will driven you in the world that promise you'll double your money in a month with no risk. So this is sound good, but to be true, it's properly is the scam, like trying to trick you into giving them money, which may never see you again. So there is a two trick. First one is a mispresent. So the scammer may tell you only positive aspect, which means only the positive phase of the investment only. So leaving out the risk is a potential and outside. For example, that may say investment has a 100% success rate without mentioning that is not approached by any regular bodies. So the second one is a high pressure tactic. They may try to rush you into investment by creating a sense. For example, you need to invest right now because this is the right opportunity. You won't available tomorrow. So the second question is, why do investment scams happen? The major cause. So the first one is a great desire of quick wealth. So people want to have a money and rich life quickly. So their mentality. So people often to fall a scam because they want to get a rich and quickly without much effort. Second one is a lack of financial literacy. If someone does not understand how the investment works, they may not recognize the warning sign of the scam. So the third one is a psychology manipulation. So actually, the scammers often use the threat of the tactic to manipulate the people into making a decision against the better judgment. So fourth one is a fake testimony. That is the use of fake review or endorsement from the celebrity to make them trust to invest in the platform. So the fifth one, the last, weird reach to the internet. So in the internet allowed the scammer to reach a large amount people while hiding their personal identity. Next.
Okay, thank you, Pony. Okay, so now I will tell about the video. So basically the video that have been provided is the one of the investment scam officially from their own YouTube. So the company name is the Quantum Metals. So overview of the Quantum Metals, Sdn Bhd is a fully owned subsidiary of a Quantum Metal Exchange Incorporated. So it is incorporated in Malaysia in 2012. So the company specialized in supplying the trading of precious metal, particularly gold products. So Quantum Metal has embraced a digitalization of physical gold, providing innovative solution aimed at economic recovery for its member and local markets. So this approach modernized the traditional concepts of a gold-backed investment by integrating advanced technology. So I'm sure you guys heard the company name before. So basically the latest issues is when the company claim have their license with Bank Negara. So but Bank Negara have given the statement which is any claims that quantum metal activities are approved and licensed by Bank Negara directly or indirectly are false. So Bank Negara has also made aware of various claims on social media that all incoming transaction outside of Malaysia needs the approvals and verification of Bank Negara in relation to AMLA. So if you want to know in detail about this issue, so you guys can read the statement on the official Bank Negara websites. So now I will give to the next presenter.
Okay, the next one is question D. what can we do to prevent or minimize the financial damage caused by investment scams, and to suggest 2 solutions. So the first one is to understand what investment are you into. So to understand what investment are you into, the first thing is to surf the internet to understand what actually an investment is. What's the basic of investment? What are the types of investment available in this country? What are the pros and cons of investments? What are the risks and benefits associated in investments? And also, what type of scams relating to investments are going around nowadays? So by having a true research in the internet about investment, most of the people can avoid from being scammed by scammers. So the second point is to get to know the seller or the salesperson. So when someone is coming towards you to sell their investment scheme or something related to investment, first of all, we need to know the seller or salesperson representing which organization. So we can do some research on the organization itself, whether it's a legit organization, whether it has a license to run an investment scheme, and etc. And secondly, seller or salesperson may market themselves by promoting false or fake luxury lives in social media. So we do also have to do a little bit of research on the seller or salesperson itself. So these things can avoid and minimize from being a victim of investment scams. Thank you. Next. So the next one is part B. So for part B, we have choose question number 1, which is discrimination at workplace. And the questions are based on the case study given here. And we have answered the questions accordingly. Next.
Okay, the first question is, should Marian quit? So there is the 3 aspects. First one is assess impact. For example, Marian should consider how negative environments affect her mental and physical health, as well her job performance. If she feels consistently, she stress and anxiety, and unhappy at work, she may harmful and over well-being and productivity. So she should seek for the support. For example, before quitting, Marian should talk to the HR or management to think that can help to solve the issue or not. So they may offer a support, medication, or other solution to improve the work environment. The third one is a legal advice. If the situation does not improve, Marian may need consult a lawyer to understand her legal option. The legal advice can be help her to understand the right and the step that she can take address the discrimination. So second one is co-worker correct in their evolution. So the first one is yes. So if Marian perform as being a good or co-worker still give a negative feedback, it may be a due a personal bias rather than her actual works. So second one is a prejudice. So if the negative comments are based on the stereotype about a gender, race, or other personal characteristics are not valuable to evaluating a performance. So the third one is the discrimination. For example, Marian begin a treat unfair to compare with others because of who she is. It will reflect a workplace discrimination. Sorry. Next.
So the next is question C. Dayang, previous slide, please. Okay. So the next is question C. Should Marian confront the co-workers? So according to our opinion, yes, Marian should confront the co-workers as it is as an initial step. So when there's a confrontation with the co-workers, the situation might be calmed down. Maybe the co-workers may understand or realize their mistakes of the discrimination issue. But before Marian facing her co-workers, she should be aware of her rights as an employee in an organization, that she should be free from any form of discrimination, and she has the right to fight for discrimination-free working environment. So by having by understanding the rights of her and also being aware of her rights in the organization, she can be more confident, more brave, and also more contentful when facing the co-workers for the confrontation. So this can eliminate further issues rising from the discrimination problem. Okay, next.
Okay, thank you, Kavin. So now we move to the next questions. So the next question is, should Marian file a discrimination suit? So before she file a discrimination suit, first thing she must do is, the first one is understanding discrimination in the workplace. So discrimination in the workplace occurs when an employee is treated unfavorably because of characteristics such as race, gender, age, or other protected categories. So if Marian feels that her race and gender are contributing factors to her colleagues' negative perception and comments about her qualification and personality, she may have ground for the discrimination claims. So then, besides that, Marian must do a gathering evidence of the discriminations. So Marian overheard 2 male co-workers discussing her qualification negatively and expressing resentment towards affirmative actions, policies that they believe led to her hirings. So this conversation could be the indicative of a hostile work environment of discriminatory attitudes within the company. So number 3 is Marian could do the company's policies and procedures. So it is suggested that Marian study the anti-discrimination and harassment policy of her company. So in most organizations, there are laid down procedures for addressing similar cases, and these often involve reporting the matters within the company before seeking legal remedies. So she may wish to report it to the Human Resource Department. So if not, then maybe consult with the Employee Assistance Program with, when relevant. So number 4 is consulting legal advice. So if Marian has the opinion that internal reporting is insufficient, or if she encountered revenge after the reports, it would be wise to turn to the employment law attorney. So a legal consultant is able to advise when there is a ground to seek discrimination lawsuit under federal law. So I will give the next question to the next presenter.
Okay, thanks, Dayang. So the next one is question E. Should Marian go to the supervisor? So if the situation escalates or remains the same for a period of time, and it's yes, Marian should approach the supervisor for further action. So usually, people go to the supervisor on this matter is to file a complaint. So before Marian meet with supervisor, she need to prepare herself with few things. First, she need to understand the company policy and what it states on the discrimination matter. Second, she has to know and understand the complaint filing procedure, and she has to follow it accurately. And the next one is to write down in detail, in a very detailed manner, on what are the issues arises to her related to discrimination and who are engaged in these issues. And the last one is to keep a copy of the complaint report. So where to keep is in her personal email, for example. It must not something that to associate with the work. It should be personal so that it can kept private and confidential. By having all this preparation, she can move ahead to meet the supervisor. So, and the complaint also will be more contentful, more solid, and the result most probably will be on Marian's side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kavin. So on the next question is what else would Marian do? So Marian can do, the first thing Marian can do is a mentoring and networking. For example, mentorship can be helpful in terms of backing, advice, and fresh approach from the best sides, as well as a proper attitude in complicated working conditions. Number 2 is Marian could do the professional development. For example, this could include going for workshop, signing up for the related courses in her specialty area, or going for industry meetings. So besides, as Marian increases her competency and improves her performance, she becomes a more desirable and competent employee for her organizations. Number 3 that Marian could do is the building alliances. For example, this alliance could be other employees with whom the target employee works with or can relate to based on various diversity and inclusion issues. So alliances can be beneficial in that they can promote unity and have a shared interest in transforming the organizations. Most of the time, women play the roles of men and men plays the roles of women. So having a company can fight the sense of loneliness and make Marian more confident in tackling problems. Number 4, that Marian should do feedback mechanisms. So Marian might also think about the feedback mechanism which are present in the organization where she works. So some companies have a special form where people can share their opinions about organization culture, of which diversity and inclusion question can be posed. So using this channel, it is possible to give her some encouraging remarks, as well as to warn her about the possible problems, which may be essential to draw her attention to some changes that might go in the policies or practices within this organization in the sphere of inclusions. So now I will give the pony to the conclusion for the case A.
Thank you, Dayang. So here we have our conclusion. What did you learn? We have to summarize. The first case is the case on study of scam. So the scam detail is a scam designed to steal the money from promising high turnover with the minimal risk. Okay. The second one we are about is the key driven. The main cause is a great lack of financial literacy, psychological manipulation, and fake endorsement. And some more. For example, people want to get rich quickly. They doesn't understand the investment they seek. For false psychology trick, believe on fake endorsement and are easily reached to become a scammers on online. So here are the few ways to prevent that. So to reduce the losses, to improve the financial literacy, and also enforce the strong regulation. For example, learning about the basic investment and principle, begin too good to be a true offer can help avoid the scams. Government also can create a strict law to catch and punish the scammers. Second.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the conclusion for the next case is discrimination at the workplace. So their case study on the workplace discrimination noted that among others, career choices like giving a job need to consider whether the place offered is affecting personal well-being negatively. For example, it is possible to seek guidance from HR or legal advisor in tackling. So and often of the court resolving so discrimination issues. We have learned that reviews from the co-workers are sometimes subjective and mostly motivated by personal bias against one another as opposed to their performance, which can be indicative of discrimination at work. So that's all for us, Miss. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.